Today, we are discussing basic computer skills that you should learn. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, this is Zach with PC Simplest, and we're back today, and I'm on a little trip here. I'm in a hotel. Anyway, we're talking basic computer skills that you should learn when you want to get into IT. A YouTube user asked me the following. She wants to know, what basic computer skills do you need to know when you want to get into IT? So we could start it off at the simplest point, and we'll kind of work our way down to maybe more complex things that you should have a general idea on what to know. And the basic thing that I think everybody should know when getting in IT, because it's so widely used, is definitely any Microsoft product that's out there. You know, you're definitely gonna have to learn everything you can about Windows and Office. Office is a big one. Everybody uses Office. Everybody uses Microsoft Outlook for their email, or Word and Excel. And if you're just getting into IT, those are some things that you're going to want to learn, because you'll get asked a lot of questions about different Excel things or Word things, and etc., etc. So definitely just, check out Office in general, Microsoft Office in general, and look up and see everything that you can find on that, because that's a big one that you'll want to learn for sure. And next down this line, they're going to go to one that's maybe not so widely used anymore. I still use it all the time, but command prompt. And what is command prompt? If you go to the start menu and you click on run, or you just go to the start menu and you just type CMD, that's Charlie, Mary, Daniel, and you hit enter, it's going to take you to a command prompt, and that's a black window with white text on it. And you are going to be able to send commands through this that will do different things for you. And one of the big things that the command prompt can do for you is you can ping things. And what is pinging things? Pinging things is you can say, you could type in PING, and then you could type the name of a computer or an IP address, and it's going to relay whether that computer is basically connected to your internet or not, right? Is it online or not? So I use this all the time when people are restarting their computers, when I'm on the phone with them and say, hey, can you reboot your computer so we can, fix this issue? Because rebooting fixes everything, right? Yeah. Anyway, so you send out a ping, and you can do ping.10.20.30.2, whatever it is, right? And then you can do space minus T as in Tom, and you hit enter, and it'll send a continuous ping to that computer. So it'll just keep pinging this computer over and over again. So you can start it before they restart their computer, and shows, okay, you're getting a reply from it, and then when that computer's off and restarting, you'll get no reply. But then once it comes back up, you'll start getting that ping again. And that's just very useful. It's a very useful thing to do. I mean, you should definitely learn to do that, because you'll want to know whether you're able to connect to a computer or not, because, hey, maybe it's not on the network. So you get that too, where people call, hey, can't get on the network, what's the problem? Well, you can ping their computer real quick and see if it is truly getting an internet connection or not. So learn that one. Command prompt does a lot of crazy things. You can write batch scripting with command prompt, where you can run different programs as administrator. There's a few different things, I guess, that you can use with it, but it's just something basic that you should learn and you should know about, because it is one of the older things, but it's definitely something that's still used today. And why isn't it used as much today? PowerShell. That's probably, out of this whole entire video, I would say please learn PowerShell. Learn PowerShell. Take the time out of your day and learn PowerShell. Learn everything that you can about PowerShell, because it is a huge tool. It will literally save you tons of time doing the most basic things or complicated things or whatever. But learn that, because PowerShell is really going to be a huge product, or whatever you want to call it, going forward in IT. PowerShell will basically let you manage your Active Directory, manage your Exchange, and you can run different scripts that will do different things. And I know that's really like, what will it do? Well, it does a lot. It does more than I could even tell you what it does, because I still don't know everything about PowerShell that I should. But you can, for instance, like the first thing that I ever did was PowerShell, and I read on it, and I obviously copied and pasted a few things, of course, because I wanted to really get this done. Was I created a mass user list, and I basically used Active Directory, and I created about 100 user accounts based off of an Excel sheet. So in Active Directory, you type in this, your code there or whatever you want to call it, and you launch it. And it will pull all of these usernames, passwords, all of their information from an Excel sheet and import it into your Active Directory. And that's amazing. If you've ever created an account in Active Directory, you know that it could take, maybe upwards of 30 seconds or so, whatever, as an example. It could take 30 seconds, right? So you basically wrote a script that created 100 user accounts in 30 seconds. And you can't beat that. You can't go wrong with that. So there's one example of how PowerShell is huge. It's a powerful tool. So learn PowerShell for sure, please. The next thing that you should probably learn is Active Directory. And Active Directory is, of course, in Windows environments. And nowadays, I would say Windows environments are one of the biggest. Obviously, it always has been and always will be. So learn Active Directory. Active Directory handles your user accounts. It handles your groups. Like different groups have different rights, things like that. Anytime you create a new user, you're going to be in Active Directory or PowerShell. And that's something that you're going to want to learn. You're going to want to learn how the group works. You're going to want to learn how membership works. There's a lot of different utilizations of Active Directory that you can, go about, and you're creating different OUs, which is an organizational unit, and you'll learn that different OUs do different things and have different rights, and different OU will do something different, and that kind of takes into group policy. So what is group policy? Group policy is another Microsoft tool that really helps you dive deep into different rights and different things that you can receive. So you can use group policy for printers. Different OUs will receive different printers. You can use group policy for your shortcuts on desktops. So one OU can have 100 desktop icons, and the other OU will have like one. Please don't use 100 desktop icons, because that's terrible. Anyway, group policy really helps you hunker down and really manage your environment from your desk, basically. You're not creating these separate images, and back in the day, that's kind of how you did things. You created separate images, and you had all these different icons and programs installed on one image for one area of your environment, and then you'd have the same thing for a different area, right? Well, group policy can help you manage this from your desk, and it's a huge tool. It's great. It's fantastic. It works very, very well, and I love it. It's a great thing to learn, and that's another, hey, basic, you should learn this. Definitely learn this. Learn group policy. Also with these two, you're definitely going to want to learn Exchange. I should have touched on that with Active Directory and all that, but Exchange is your email management system from Microsoft again. And basically what you're going to want to learn in Exchange is how to manage, different other people's email boxes, other people's calendars, privileges, their size of their mailbox, giving rights to different mailboxes or calendars or stuff like that. So learn Exchange. That's another big one for sure. We did group policy. There's DHCP. That's more of a, I guess you would call it kind of a networking type of thing. But there's a lot of basic things you can learn in DHCP with creating different reservations for different devices and things like that. So in my environment right now, we use like Dymo label printers, and we have these Jet Directs that we have to basically take the MAC address from that, throw it into a DHCP, create a reservation for it, so our network can see this, Jet Direct, and you can print from all these things. And probably sounds confusing to you, and I'm not going to explain it very well, but just learn DHCP. Just, do a quick YouTube search for DHCP basics, and that's all you want to know. You want to know the basics, because when you get into an environment, more than likely somebody's going to teach you how they do things there, because everywhere they do things differently. So just be aware of that. Just learn DHCP, because it's really good to know. The next basic thing you should probably learn, I would say, is maybe some DNS things. Just understand what DNS is, what DNS does, and maybe you'll dive into that at some point. Again, YouTube search for DNS basics, and you'll get a wide variety of things to learn. And I'm going to say this is probably the end of this video, and I'm sure there's going to be a part 2 to this, because let's dive into maybe more medium things that you should probably learn, you know, getting into IT. These are definitely, I would say, the basics, because you really just want to learn the basics on all these things that I've went over. If anything that you're going to really take more than basic, I would say PowerShell. Learn as much PowerShell as you can, but everything else that I went over, Office, Command Prompt, Active Directory, Exchange, Group Policy, DHCP, DNS, learn the basics of those. Learn how they function, learn how they work, learn why they work or why people use them, and you'll just have a nice little grasp of what these things do and why you should learn them. Any environment you get into is going to be different, but if you learn these basic things before you get into an environment, at least you'll have that knowledge in your head of how they kind of work and what they will do for you. So, hope you like this video. I hope I answered your question a little bit. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. I'm happy to get back to you and try to answer anything I possibly can for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and take care. Thank you.